Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to another Jackson Reaction podcast. I'm Gene Jackson, along with.
Rose Jackson, the real Rosie J.
How's everybody doing today? I'm happy you're joining us either live or if you're watching this later on. I have to say the Jacksons are having a pretty good weekend. I know if you've followed along on this podcast, more so maybe on the wrestling podcast. We have been in a search for quite some time now for a house around Gadsden, and we have procured one. We went and looked at it this morning. It's really going to be real nice when they get finished with it, and we're pretty excited about it.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty great, I think. Pretty great.
So we went and saw this new house. We discovered a new barbecue place over outside of Arab. That's amazing. I got to the 14th level of Dr. Mario last night. It's been a good weekend.
And I discovered that this barbecue place has mini jugs of sweet tea, which is the best sweet tea I have ever had. And I am a connoisseur of some sweet tea.
And then meanwhile, on the flip side of that, you couldn't get me to drink sweet tea at gunpoint. But I'm glad that it's good. I'm glad you like it. And
I do.
You were quite excited about it, almost as excited as I was about the orange dreamsicle pudding, which was just amazing.
Right. Yeah, that was some good stuff. The banana pudding was really good, too.
Yep. So they had some great barbecue, pork, and chicken. So if you're ever over outside of Arab, I highly suggest hog leg barbecue? Is that what it's called?
Hog leg barbecue.
There you go. So... You know, we've been talking in recent weeks, especially since we've been doing the live video version of the podcast here. You know, we've been talking about some of the things we enjoy, you know, documentaries, docuseries, some of the British TV shows that we've spent our time watching. But something that we just adopted in recent months is getting on YouTube and just going down rabbit holes of just random stuff. And in the beginning, it was all random, and it still is, but we've now established some channels and people that we enjoy watching. So we were going to spend today's episode, which you have named Adventures in YouTubing, which is perhaps the most appropriate name yet, talking about some of our favorite ones to watch.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's been an adventure. You know, when we don't have something specific in mind to watch, it's like, what do? I go on YouTube and I'll just look at what catches my eye and I'll be like, hey, that's interesting. Look at that. And we'll click it. And 7 hours later, we've watched YouTube.
I wish that was an exaggeration, but it's really
not.
It's
not. It's really not.
I mean, last night you watched Godzilla, Kong versus Godzilla, Godzilla versus Kong. I don't know the proper way to say that, which one is which. But, and I was working on the computer, and when you got done, you popped it on YouTube, like, hey, let's watch, you know, this week's episode of the Burger Scholar. And next thing we know, it's like after 1 o'clock, which is 2 hours past your bedtime, to say the least.
Honestly, it's almost like you don't even know that much time has passed. It's just like 5 hours later, where'd it go? Oh my God, I sat here 5 hours and watched some dude in Singapore get a pizza out of a machine, you know?
Yeah, I mean, since the pandemic's going on, especially since you've been, you know, in Gadsden, I've been prone to do that. Like, I'll watch one old Saturday Night Live skit and I go, oh, look at this one, and look at this one. And the next thing I know, 3 hours have passed. Yeah. And then I showed you a couple things on there, and now you've kind of been roped into it as well. And now you're doing it like while I'm working sometimes and stuff too. So,
oh yeah, yeah.
And this week's fascination, I guess, you just kind of mentioned. This week's biggest fascination has been the various vending machines, especially in Singapore, it seems.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think the first one that caught my eye, it's this guy on YouTube called Dancing Bacons, which I don't really understand the name because there's no bacon that dances or anything. So I don't know. But he goes to all these different vending machines and various grocery stores, vending machines that are placed out in the town. They're in Taiwan, Singapore, different things like that. And the one that caught my eye was the pizza vending machine, hot, fresh, brick oven made pizza out of a machine in, what was it, less than 5 minutes, I think.
It claimed. It took every bit of 5 to 7, but it claimed 3 minutes.
By the time you take it out, you cut it and all the good stuff, you know, it did take that. But I mean, the picture, it was funny. It's like a touch screen. You go up to it and you choose your pizza. You choose what you want. You take your card. It scans it. It, does it. I think it was like, what, $8 in U.S. currency to get one of these. But it's like a full-size pizza that it spits out. And it has a box. You fold it. You can take it home. You can eat it there. Has a little thing with cutlery that comes out. That's a pizza cutter. And that I was amazed with itself. The fact that they could trust a machine out in the middle of this town with all these people with these plastic pizza cutters and such. Like, okay, we're normal individuals. We're not animals or anything. We don't go steal cutlery or any free, like, you don't see me stuffing the free sugar packs in my purse when we go to Denny's,
Yeah,
like
most
that.
time.
But I have to think that if there were machines like this in, like, say, Hansville, that this machine would either be vandalized and or tore apart within a week, or all the pizza cutters would be gone. So when you went and got your pizza, like, you couldn't cut it, you just have to take it home or eat it like a savage because some crackhead stole all the cutlery.
Yeah, some jackwag will be like, free pizza cutters, and just grab all of them, because what are you going to do with plastic pizza cutters? Because that guy, if you watch that video, he had a heck of a time.
Oh, yeah.
Cutting said pizza with that plastic pizza cutter. And see, we're not the only ones. See, Robert Ryan says, I'm hooked on YouTube as well. So, see, we're not the only ones that spend hours.
I mean, and then when the dude went to the Singapore shopping market and the little robot that makes the omelets.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It was awesome. Like, a robot made an omelet better than I can. And I was like, oh, my God, I need that. I so need that.
So, it was just this robotic arm that twisted around, oiled the pan, spun around, dipped the thing down in the egg solution, dumps it in there, dumps the meat, cheese, whatever, and makes a perfect. I can't make an omelet to save my life. I quit trying years ago. Perfect omelet every single time. And when he scoops it out of the pan is completely clean. That's another thing too. Like the times I've tried to make one, the pan, you might as well throw the thing away once I'm done with it, because you're never getting that burnt egg off of it. This robot made a perfect omelet every single time. And it was what, like $2 and something American?
Like $2.75 American. It was something crazy. I was like, oh,
didn't have to tip it or nothing like you do at the hotel breakfast bar.
I mean, I was like, if I lived in Singapore and I had all these machines to do stuff for me, like, I would never cook again. I'd just go stick money in a machine, let the thing make my dinner.
The pizza didn't look bad. Like I say, the cutter situation was questionable at best. The omelet with the robot arm was amazing.
Yeah.
Now, the French fry one.
Oh.
That
was bad.
That did not look good at all.
They look horrible. And the ketchup that it put on.
Yeah, it just shot ketchup down in the middle of it. And the French fries just looked great. Oh, it was, yeah.
But you have to admit the frozen Coke was pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah. The frozen Coke, I would be all over that. That was like magic, the way that works. So.
Yeah,
I'm not a scientist like you are, so that I'm still pondering that.
You put the money in and it spits a Coke or Sprite out, and you turn it upside down, take the lid off of it, and then a few seconds later the ice starts forming.
Right there in your hand as it starts freezing and the ice starts moving up. And apparently it's something Mr. Wizard could explain to us. It's not literally magic, but I was pretty damn amazed. And Rosie's like, oh, well, yeah, that checks out because CO2 and da-da-da-da-da, and that makes sense. I was like, that Coke just froze right in front of our eyes right there. Unless this is some kind of camera trick, it's pretty damn impressive, but,
Yeah, and
I'm
then
easily amused, obviously.
Well, and then the place the guy went to that was like it was strictly a vending machine, just a mall full of vending machines. It had all kinds of candy machines, cake machines, and like you had to operate the crane to get the cake out that you wanted. I thought that was pretty neat. Like I would spend like $1,000 and they're just getting Pockies and the little Hello Pandas.
The crazy thing to me, so this guy, and I'm not exaggerating as I tend to do, he literally went to 20 or more of these machines, at least. Okay? And he goes up and he gets whatever cake, candy, pie, cheesecake, whatever it is. He gets it out, he wins it, gets it out of there, and right there next to the machine, opens it up and then eats some of it. And then goes the next one. It does something like every single thing he sampled some of it right there, right next to the machine in front of the camera. It's like, number one, that's kind of rude for the people who are waiting to use it. Number two, like there was a weird mix of stuff old boy was eating. It's like it was some of everything. So that was
but fun. Then you gotta admit, when I showed you the reverse beer tap, that was pretty cool. Like
that was cool, and the pineapple coring machine was pretty cool too. But the beer one, I'm not a beer drinker, but it was pretty neat to watch.
That's amazing. You go buy a ticket and you scan the ticket, and the cup has like a suction thing on the bottom of it that you can't penetrate, but when you stick it on the little thing and you turn it, it makes the beer come up from the bottom, so it's like less foam. And I was like, oh my God, that would be like so awesome.
Yeah.
I would dig that. But
yeah. We're gonna get us kicked off of Facebook right now. They're just gonna hear you talking about penetration and it was too small and wouldn't go in. You had to twist it and all that. It's gonna sound like you're some kind of dirty podcast at 6:19 on a Saturday night. So moving on from that, I'm sorry. I was more impressed with the frozen Coke trick than I was the beer.
Anyway,
thing.
So like if you could have a vending machine, what would yours be? If you could have any kind of vending machine that put out various products of some sort, what would you have?
Hot tamales.
Okay, so hot tamales, like your options to have like cheese, chili, hot sauce.
Yeah, you can choose. Because, like, for instance, that French fry machine, like, you could have it either put cheese on them or tomato sauce, as it said, but that was their weird name for ketchup. And so, yeah, you would be able to choose if you want some chili on there, if you want some cheese on there, whatever the case may be.
I guess mine would be either a cheese dip machine or a combo chimichanga / cheese dip dispensing machine. That'd be pretty good.
So we're going Mexican on both of ours then.
Yes, pretty much.
Because I guess maybe because it was in Singapore or whatever, nothing that we saw, none of those many vending machines that we saw was Mexican food related. It was
all American or a weird mix of some kind of Singapore type food. It just
the guy had the one that spit out frozen steaks. And then and if you'd have told me this without me seeing it, I'd have said you were making this up because it don't even sound like it makes sense. He got a cardboard grill and cooked his steak on it in like a hotel room. A cardboard grill.
Oh, he did. And he cut it up, had some fine looking fajita steak. That's what was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like mind blowing, but I mean, he smoked. It wasn't like a smokeless grill though. Like he smoked that hotel room up something terrible. Like,
I know. Just
go to the restaurant, man.
Exactly.
You don't buy steak out of a vending machine. And
them hotel people was probably like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure that's the least. That's probably the least disturbing thing they see in a Singapore hotel, though.
Oh yeah,
so, I'm just saying.
The only thing it doesn't involve a black light, I'm sure.
Anyway. Okay, so like some of the other things we watch, I mean, of course, we watch a lot of food YouTube. Like we like the Burger Scholar, who's George Moats. He reminds me of Jeremy Flint making burgers. It's like it's great
with more hair.
With more hair. He makes some phenomenal burgers. I'm not a fan of the smash burger, but like some of the ones he makes are just like, oh, I'd eat that. Like.
And so he literally is. I mean, they call him Burger Scholar, but he literally is. Like, he's written books about them. He's traveled all over the world, seemingly, trying out all the different ones. And there in his apartment, he can make pretty much any kind of burger anybody wants to bring up. He can make them right there on his countertop in his apartment. And he's funny. It's not like your typical cooking show type thing. So. Yeah, I recommend checking that out.
Yeah, I really like his. And what would you say is the best burger that you've seen him do so far?
I mean, that steakhouse burger he made where he grinded up his own meat for it, where he took steak and like ground chuck and then mixed, had a grinder thing on the end of his mixer and mixed all that up himself and then made the burger. That looked pretty Pretty good. And then what was the one with the gravy? Or not gravy, but like, he dipped it down in that au jus type sauce,
Yeah, I remember that one, but I can't remember what kind of burger it was.
I can't either. I just know it looked really good, and I wanted one afterwards, and that's not something you could go get anywhere within 1,000 miles of Alabama, apparently. So.
No, it was one they make in, I think it was Connecticut. It's where they make that one.
Yeah.
Like that, but I like the deep fried bacon burger he made. That was pretty interesting to see a deep fried burger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, I could feel my arteries harden watching him eat it. Deep fried bacon burger, but it looked good.
It looked good. Yeah, it looked really good. And that's the thing, is a lot of these we watch them and we're like, oh my God, we got to go find this stuff. But like,
well, that's the bad thing about it. Like, we watch this on a, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night at 11 o'clock, and it's been a few hours since dinner, and then, we turn it off, and it's like, God, I want a burger now, or I want a this or that. And, if you can't have it at Waffle House or Denny's, you're screwed. And Coleman,
One thing that amazed me was the guy that makes the 48-hour foods and does the long prep foods, Alvin Zoe.
Yeah, there we go.
He the beef Wellington, he made a 72-hour beef Wellington, which was tremendous looking. Like, I don't know that I could wait 72 hours to eat something, but like the food, it's like you can tell he makes it with he savors it, so it's got to be tremendous when you eat it, because you're 72 hours, you're thinking about this beef Wellington. It's like, oh my God, it's going to be just fantastic when I take a bite of it.
So like George Motes is like, we're going to make a steakhouse burger, and then you watch him make the steakhouse burger, and within 10 minutes he's eating it. And then this other guy is like, I want a burger on Friday, and today is Tuesday, and so we're going to start making a hamburger or cookies or anything he makes. It's going to be a few days. I hope you're not hungry now, because we're not eating this till the weekend.
It's amazing when he gets it done, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I love his, because his is just so soothing to watch him make that.
Well, it's a unique presentation because he doesn't talk throughout any of it. It's just a video with music behind it, and he makes noises every now and then, and there's like captions under the screen to kind of describe what he's doing or what have you. But yeah, it's a very different presentation, but it's cool. And like I say, I haven't seen him make anything yet where at the end you're like, oh my God, that looks amazing.
Oh, I know. And then we, I don't know, we've been on this kick where we like to watch the little guy that feeds the turtles, the fish whisperer.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just so cute. I don't know. Like, he has all these little tortoises and turtles, and he feeds them turtle pizza and turtle salad and turtle popsicles.
This guy has these lakes, and he has turtles in them. He has catfish. He has bass. And he raises them, and he goes down, like you say, and he feeds them usually in, interesting, fun ways, holds a watermelon up, and these turtles come up on the bank and eats them. These videos have millions of hits. Like, that's not exaggerating. Like, you go look, there'll be like him petting a catfish, and literally it's like 11 million views or 22 million views. And it's like, how do you do, like, God bless, I wish we could figure out the magic,
Well, I mean, you think of some of the things that, like, we watch TylerTube a lot. He's the...
Yes, let me throw this guy up here.
He's the lovely guy that dips stuff in Drano for 30 days and salt for 30 days and Clorox for 30 days. Basically, he takes random household objects with food and puts them in jars with various chemical things that you don't mix together.
Or puts things in a deep fryer. Like, I'm going to deep fry golf balls and motor oil or gasoline or whatever. Like, and he gets ridiculous amounts of views. And what's funny is we're sitting there watching this, and you're like, oh my God, this has got 800,000 views. Like, who watches a guy deep fry golf balls? And it's like, well, we are. We've just watched 10 of these. We just spent 2 hours watching 10 of these. What happens when I leave these gloves in sulfuric acid or acetone or just And then it always comes around to pickles with this guy, you know, or how conductive of electricity is hot dogs. And then eventually it's, like I say, it's got to be pickles. He hates pickles, but it always comes up.
It always comes up. Yeah.
It's funny because this guy's name's Tyler, and he reminds me of Tyler Britt, a.k.a. my nephew Britt Jackson, in a way. I don't know if it's just the beard, but just kind of his demeanor in general. It reminds me of him. So I guess that's kind of another reason I find these videos funny, because it's kind of like watching him do this kind of silly shit in his garage.
Well,
but I mean, this guy's doing crazy experiments in his garage, and he is getting paid. He's got sponsors. He gets a ton of views. It's crazy. So Rosie's been concocting.
I'm thinking our gimmick is we're going to get a bunch of toasters and just put random shit in the toasters and see what it does. I know it's all going to burn up and smell horrible, but
most of his, before he does it, you know, one or both of us is like, well, we know what's going to happen. This is going to happen. And then he does it. He's like, holy shit, that just happened.
Like, what can I catch on fire with a toaster? So I think that's what we're going to do.
Okay. Well, it's worth a shot. You know, we'll have a large carport at our new house that we can pull one of the cars out and do crazy experiments and
YouTube
videos, and people will be like, who the hell are these people that just moved in that are making these?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure the neighbors will love it. They'll love it. Well, some of the others that we watch, though, we don't always watch goofballs doing stuff with food, but, you know, like, you like Company Man.
Yeah, so
a lot of these videos of, you know, companies, like why they're successful, why they're not, why they're gone, you know, like, I mean, he did several, he's done them on every major type of.
One of the first ones I saw, and I don't know how it even come about suggesting it to me, was about Sbarro, the pizza place in the malls. And it kind of talked about how it started and how it became huge with malls, and then malls started to die. So then it started to die, and they started trying to find other ways to keep it going. And so they run anywhere from about 8 to 14 minutes. Charles Anders would love them.
Yeah.
They don't, I mean, because most of these topics, I mean, you could, hello, Smokey. You could talk about, I mean, you could make a 2-hour video, but he does really, really well at getting right to the point and giving you the statistics and telling the story, like I say, in about 8 to 12 minutes. So I've got the alerts pop up on my phone. They come out every Wednesday, and I usually watch most of them. It's usually, like I say, the Sbarro one was one of the first I watched, and I found it pretty interesting. And then, like I said, there was one about the Toys R Us bankruptcy, which made that whole thing make a lot more sense than it ever had in any other thing I had read about it. And then ones that, you know, you particularly found interesting, like Kmart, because you'd worked there, you know, years ago, and Radio Shack, because you had worked there. And you know, it kind of helped lend some credence to these videos, because, you know, the stuff that had happened while you were still there, you were like, yeah, that's true, because I remember that came up, that happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, you know, just there's a few different variations he does. He'll compare to and contrast two companies, or why this company's so big, or why people hate this company, or the rise and fall and rise again of Applebee's and all this kind of stuff. And so it's interesting.
I mean, that's an interesting thing, because you don't think about the profits and losses of companies, and then, like, okay, like you and me are of the age where we've seen a lot of companies come and go, restaurants, businesses, things of that sort, and now you continue to see them go because of the pandemic, because of economic collapse. It's interesting to see the reasons of why they failed, and then it's even more interesting to see the reasons on why some of them are still going. Like the Bath and Body Works, you know, like that one, it's still in malls. You got some of the crappiest, almost half abandoned malls in America still have a Bath and Body Works functioning in them, and it's like, how? You know, that's the only reason people go to that mall. So if the Bath and Body Works folded, they're gone.
I don't know if we talked about this on the audio podcast, and this is not a YouTube show, but if you have Amazon Prime, look up Jasper Mall, which is a documentary about the Jasper, Alabama Mall.
So sad, but it's true. I mean, it's
true. It's sad. It's interesting, and for people like you and me who grew up in the era that malls thrived in, and that they were a huge part of our lives and something we looked forward to.
Oh yeah,
seeing what they've become.
And then now you think, how long's it been since me and you have been in a physical mall?
It's a couple of years at least.
4 or 5.
We walked around the one in Nashville, killing time before we went to
Mm-hmm.
ROH the last time, and then before that, I think we walked around one in not Knoxville, Bowling Green,
Bowling Green. Yeah.
killing some time when we were there, and ate at Sbarro.
Yeah, we did. We ate at the last Sbarro.
I think in both of those excursions, the main place you went was
Bath and Body Works.
So,
but I mean, like now,
circle.
I buy it offline. I mean, I get a better deal buying it offline than I do in the store. So why do I need to go in a store? But that's what happens. Is just like with Victoria's Secrets, it's no more. You know, I mean, well, it may be in some places, but like our one in Gadsden's gone. I mean, like the Gadsden Mall itself. You think of it, how many people are left in it? You know. I mean,
well, VCW Wrestling. So if you're in Gadsden, go see my buddies Charles Anders and Shane Mako wrestling at the Gadsden Mall. Not in the middle of the mall. They're in the old theater.
They're in the theater. But
tell them Gene sent you, or their friend Uncle Ephraim might have suggested it. But
yeah. So
there's one more that you have listed. I don't know how many more you have on the list. As far as pictures, and so the funny part about this. You said a lot of our video watching is about food. So one night we were just randomly watching stuff, and somehow it suggested cheeseburger in a can, and we were like, cheeseburger in a can. So we clicked it, and it was one of Ashens' videos where and so this guy, a lot of his videos are him trying various awful products that come in a can, or not even always that. Sometimes it's the food from Dollar Tree or whatever. He's in it. So let's back up for a second. He's English, so he's in the UK. So over there, they're called what is it? Poundland and Pound Town and stuff like that, because $1's a pound over there, right? So it's weird the way he does it though, because he sets it in a chair or couch or love seat or whatever in his house, and he'll eat hamburger in a can, or Thanksgiving dinner in a can.
Whole Thanksgiving dinner is in a can.
Chicken sandwich in a can. Like if they've canned it and it's awful, he's eating it. And he's pretty funny. He
was eating expired foods. You remember 1982 cereal?
Spam from 1967 and shit like this. And you had to watch because you're like, what? No, this guy's not going to do this. And if he does, what's going to happen here?
We stayed up many a Friday nights watching just hundreds.
We've watched that guy
things.
Eat. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so his videos get a ton of hits, but he does those types of videos of him eating things. He goes on Wish and orders, like he'll just pick out a search word randomly, and then he'll order items from Wish and then do reviews of them. He'll buy lots of like
DVDs.
$12 for 80 DVDs and then review them. He does all kinds of different stuff. Like there was a video we watched the other night, and this is how bored we are on a Thursday night, folks. We watched him and a friend play a Pac-Man board game with marbles and little plastic Pac-Man.
I kind of want that game.
I vaguely remember, like somebody I know might have had one, but I
think my cousin had one. I think I remember playing it with my cousin, and I thought it was boring as shit then, but then I still ended up watching two grown men play it for about. But he's
pretty funny, and he does, like I say, he has a weird variety of stuff that he reviews and eats and all that. But Ashens, I would recommend, if you've got some time on your hands, check that out for just pure amusement. Like I say, if you want to kind of learn about some companies, Company Man would be a good suggestion. And if you're into hamburgers, George Motz's Burger Scholar show is good.
And then I've found that I like binging with Babish a lot. He does a lot of, any kind of food that's on TV, anything that's used in a cartoon, movies.
For instance,
he done The Simpsons.
He made the Brood Witch from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yep.
He made some kind of Sunday from SpongeBob.
Yep.
I noticed earlier, and I didn't get a chance to mention this to you off the air, but You remember when we was scrolling through last night and that Taco Town commercial from Saturday Night Live where it was like, it's a taco inside a quesadilla, inside of this, inside
a bag.
Well, Babish made one of those, so we're going to have to watch that at some point.
That'll be great. Taco Town. That's great.
That's a very funny parody of like Taco Bell Mexican fast food commercials. If you ever come, Taco Town, SNL's got Bill Hader and Andy Samberg, and I think
that's fantastic.
But it's funny.
Speaking of SNL, I think tonight we're gonna go back and watch all the Insane Clown parodies of the
the underground,
the underground. Mrs. Potato Dick.
Yes, if you haven't seen those, the underground. Convention or whatever they call it. But just put you can put ICP SNL parody and they'll all pull up, and they're really funny.
I think we'll watch those because talking about it. Well, the fact that I seen the poster at the bank earlier when I went by the ATM and it said the drummer from Sawyer or the drummer from the Zac Brown band was going to be at the Magnolia Festival in Gardner.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Yay, let's go see the drummer! Woohoo!"
Yeah. Just seeing the drummer of any band is just awesome. I mean, unless it's the one-armed drummer from Def Leppard, I'm not really going to be excited about it.
I'm just like, it just reminded me of that one where they're like, and come meet the cast of Family Ties. This one won't be there. This one won't be there. This one, but you'll meet them all.
Yeah, they X out everyone in the whole cast. They go with the whole cast and they X everyone out. Like, we got the mom, and they did that for like basketball teams and like the Fox News team. And
that's some good stuff. That's some funny stuff. But there's other funny things too. I mean, we used to like angry video game nerd. That used to be my go-to.
Oh yeah, back several years ago.
The new stuff.
He was good, but I mean, it's not as good anymore. But I mean, let's face it, he's our age, so he's in his 40s. The guy's married, got kids, angry. And he's got a career outside of that. And so, from what I hear, from behind the scenes type thing, that other people write it for him now, and he just kind of shows up and reads their script and plays through the games, or sometimes it's them playing through the games, and he just talks over the footage. Which is why he's not as intense about it as he used to be. But I do enjoy his reviews, like his movie reviews, where they're sitting in the video store in his basement. Where
the Cinemassacre.
The Cinemassacre stuff. I like a lot of their reviews. But I think it's probably time to let the video game nerd just kind of
do Cinemassacre stuff.
Yeah, maybe let him do the video game conventions when the pandemic goes away. But probably just. That new video he made with like, oh gosh, what's his name? The loudmouth guy from the 80s, comedian who squints and was like the parrot on the Disney movie.
Oh,
Gilbert Godfrey. Yeah. That was horrible. It was horrible. And I like Gilbert Godfrey, but oh my God, that Angry Nerd video was horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
but anyway.
Anyway. So, I mean, and we watch others. I mean, there's tons and tons of ones we watch on YouTube. I mean,
oh yeah. I mean, if the latest Jim Cornette, the art on the front catches your eye, you'll be like, hey, let's see what that one's about.
Yeah, because I have to admit the art's pretty funny, and sometimes I'm like, why is he dressed up like a bear? Like, we gotta watch that.
Right.
I don't particularly care for Jim Cornette. I mean, I like him. I think some of his views are a little old, but I gotta admit, he's pretty clever.
Oh yeah, he's funny to listen to.
He's funny.
I think a lot of it's just shtick, like Angry Video Game Nerd for that matter. And I agree with a lot of his wrestling views. I disagree with some of his wrestling views. I disagree with almost all of his political views, but he's good for entertainment. And that's what I learned. I don't listen to the 2-hour long podcast anymore. Just when those clips come up and there's a funny picture and it seems like a topic I might be interested in, I'll listen to that 6-7 minute video and then move on. I'm not sitting and watching the whole podcast getting aggravated like I used to. Yeah.
Cause that, I don't know. It's like you kind of, some are just for nostalgia purpose, just to see what his intake is on stuff that you watched when you were a kid, It's like,
yeah, like when he does those deep dives talking about like the history of Jim Crockett Promotions or the Great American Bash series and stuff like that, that's what I enjoy the most, is because he was there, he experienced it, and he's pretty funny telling it. But listening to him rant for the 50th week in a row about how awful AEW is, or, you know, the latest person to have a an intergender match that's ruined his life or whatever, it's like, okay, man, you know, get over it. Yes, you hate Kenny Omega, and yeah, he earns it a lot of times, but we get it. You know, I mean,
yeah, we
you
get
don't
it
have to act like it's
thoroughly.
the first time every single time you watch him wrestle. You know,
That's true. That's true. Well, we're gonna have to cut this one short this week because my battery is dying.
well, I think we pretty well,
Yeah.
fully covered the topic of YouTube. So, hey, if you're watching this, I highly, any of the ones we talked about here tonight, go check them out. You know, it's fun to kill a little bit of time here and there. You know,
Oh, and it's nice. It's a nice takeaway from reality sometimes. Like, I mean, there's times, I've had a rough week. Your week's kind of sucked. I come in, I'm like, man, I don't have anything particular I want to watch. Let's put on the Turtle Whisperer and let's watch him feed turtles a pizza. And it's, and it's cute, and it's just, I don't know, it takes your mind off of reality. It's like there's other things out there besides the shit you got going on. So,
and then we're watching an otter eat a Cheerio, and
that was cute.
Cat jump out behind this, and so yeah, you can spend your night pretty quickly and not even realize it on YouTube. So, once again, we thank you for listening. We'll be back hopefully next Saturday, and Rosie will have another fun topic lined up for us, and we will be right here, apparently anywhere from 3 to 6 o'clock, maybe earlier, maybe later. But, that's the great thing about these. You can always go back and listen to them at your convenience, and we'll have the audio version up in the next day or so that you can check out if that's easier for you than sitting looking at my bald head for 45 minutes to an hour.
My one wonky eye that's messed up from allergies, which I tried to put the avatar on so like nobody could see this, but I couldn't get it to do on my phone since my laptop decided to die. Ghetto Apple. Anyway.
Oh yeah, we spent more than the time of this podcast trying to get her Apple computer to work, which I won't go into it, but that's about to become the bane of my existence on a daily basis is Apple products.
Apple products.
I've got on record so many times about how I'm anti-Apple products, and now that's about to become my daily life. So that's karma for you folks. Keep that in mind.
But
Careful what you wish for.
I will highly suggest go to this barbecue place. They have fantastic tea. Oh my God, it's the best. Best tea ever.
Great tea, great barbecue, great desserts. They had, like I said, she had banana pudding. It was great. I had the orange dreamsicle pudding. They also had bread pudding, it said. And so get down there, and if you're in the area, check it out. It's one of the best barbecue places we've been in a while. And we're not even getting paid to say that. We don't even have a sponsor yet. We're just saying it because we thoroughly enjoyed it. And we don't always thoroughly enjoy everywhere we go. We go to eat here lately, especially.
That's true. That's true.
All right, folks. Take care. Enjoy your Saturday night. And if you would, join me and Charles Anders and Shane Mako tomorrow night for Cheap Heat TV Live right here on Facebook and YouTube, where our guest will be Rolando Perez, the former Hot Tamale Daniel Perez. Why is he Rolando Perez? I don't know, but we're going to find out tomorrow night. Should be a lot of fun. He's an interesting guy. And I'm looking forward to talking to him. So check us out tomorrow night on Cheap Heat TV Live. So, Rosie, you got anything to say as we wrap up here?
No, I'm good.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, folks. And thanks for watching the Jackson Reaction Podcast.